Welcome back to Faenza, the Grand Prix of Europe. My name is Paul Main, and you join us live here on a hot day, almost 30 degrees out there on the circuit at Faenza. Just seen Jeffrey Hurling's crown MX2 World Champion with a round to go. Joined by Michael Lieb, the Monster Energy Yamaha rider from MX2. Michael Lieb, you got on the podium at the Italian Grand Prix in Fermo, round 3 of the championship, but I'm sure to you now, with the situation that you're in, that seems a distant memory now, doesn't it?
Yeah, Italy didn't treat me as good this time around, but hey, there's always the next year, right?
Yeah, that's right. And obviously you've been off, you've been sick, you've had a virus, that kind of thing. Tried to make a return appearance. Yeah, Maxley Basin a couple of weeks ago, you opted not to ride in the Sand of Holland, but you tried again yesterday, picked up another little knock on the ankle. Yeah,
I basically just came over knowing it was going to be tough, and I wanted to do good, you know, in this Italian GP here and also in Germany, but it wasn't in the cards for me. So, you know, obviously yesterday was a bit difficult, and yeah, I tweaked my ankle a little bit, but more or less, you know, I kind of jumped the gun a little bit early, and you know, I would rather do that though than sit on the couch, so that's fine by me.
Pretty warm weekend though, isn't it? The guys obviously riding a track that's pretty difficult. What was it like in the laps that you did yesterday? A lot of ruts out there and hard and slick in places?
Yeah, a lot of ruts, really soft, actually quite mushy where you'd expect it to be hard. I've rode this track last year here when I was riding for Husqvarna. We done quite a few races here. Much different, you know, surfaces than I'm used to, at least at this circuit here. But actually, these second motos, they've done a great job with the track prep, and it's looking good here as we're pointing the 50 seconds up.
Getting ready for MX1 race 2. Tony Cairoli already crowned world champion with a victory in moto number 1. He won it by more than 20 seconds from Christophe Pourcel and Commander Sal, who realised his world championship dream come to an end. But the Monster Energy 5-second board goes up, and it's almost time to go here. MX1, the Kawasaki's at the inside of Sebastian and Christophe Pourcel, and Bob Brechef in there as well, but Tony Cairoli up the middle in those yellow boots, and he's in second position. No Max Nagel, he crashed going down the start straight in moto number 1 in a collision with an Italian rider, got a serious dead leg, and Rui Gonçalves, who crashed about a third of the way through in moto number 1, he's out with a shoulder injury. To which extent we don't know yet, but Tony Cairoli wastes no time getting to the front, and he's already passed both Pourcels, Sebastian number 11 and Christophe 377. Down into turn 5 they go, deep inside rut, and look at that, 2 or 3 guys already wedged in there. One of them looked like Brian McKenzie, the 243 on the STR KTM, who had a good ride in moto number 1 to come home in 15th position. Bobryshev legging his way through at the top of the hill, steep downhill, gnarly. Yesterday it was through there, but it's Cairoli, Sebastian, Christophe Pourcel, they're second and third. They're over the hill now. Then we've got Gauthier Paulin, Commander Sal, Evgeny Bobryshev, Sean Simpson, a good start, Milko Podisek, Xavier Bourg better this time around. And having said that, just picks himself up and goes to the bottom of the hill outside the top 20. So Michael Lieb, first race, what did you see of it in MX1? Tony Cairoli, obviously sporting the new World Championship rainbow coloured jersey now, but didn't hang around in the first moto, did he?
No, he definitely didn't. He took those yellow boots and he ran with them, I'd say. But I got to give credit to Sebastian Pourcel. He's been pretty much on fire all weekend. He was really impressive, you know, and really consistent starts. But you got to give it up to Cairoli. I mean, chasing down the one and only Everts.
Yeah, it's 1 year at a time.
Yeah,
he's out number 6 now, but he's still clocking them up. But he wants to go out of here now with a double moto victory. That's the least the Italian fans deserve after him not winning the Fermo round 3 of the championship. That, of course, went to Christophe Pourcel. He didn't ride the Italian round last year in Fermo due to personal reasons. But here he is, leading on lap 1 from the 2 Kawasaki's CP377 riders, Sebastian and Christophe Pourcel. Then we've got Gauthier Paulin there. So he's in a battle as we look on board with Christophe Pourcel coming off the start line. 2 Kawasaki's came out clean. The Suzuki tried to come across with Commander Sal. There was a drag race from there on, but look at the jump that number 11 got.
I'm telling you, he's on it with his starts this weekend. It's incredible.
Closed the door on Cairoli, then just caught his leg, look. Made a mistake, and then it was Tony Cairoli just here. Rainbow helmet as well, look, for Tony Cairoli. Hanging his rear off the back of the seat. Wasn't quite far enough, though. 450 Kawasaki of number 11. Sebastian Pourcel just managed to sneak it a little bit, but then he just ran out of luck going over the first jump. The die cut on the charge, going past Sean Simpson. That's for 7th place.
Number 9 goes up the inside of 24. Yes, Michael. Real tricky downhill section there. That left is way steeper and more off camera than it looks on camera, along with that uphill. And coming into here, like as Simpson's going, this whole back section here, all the way from that downhill, super tricky section. Yeah. Well, like I say, they've maybe taken some of the ruts out of there since the first race and 1 or 2 other areas, certainly through here. But I was stood on that downhill yesterday during the qualifying races, the MX2 and MX1, and what you can't see from the camera angle that we've got is how big those holes are. And of course the sunlight now directly behind, like it is now, directly behind the riders as they go down that hill. You can't see where those holes are, can you? To be honest, it's a little bit like a game of hopper, like a little rhythm section going down there. Those holes are so deep they'll swallow your front end right out, so you really can't afford to drop your front end in there. And yeah, it's tricky. To find a good line down there that's pretty smooth is almost impossible. Well, the 2 Pulsels won here in 2007 in MX2 and MX1 respectively, with Christophe and Sebastian topping the podium, but yet to make it on the podium as brothers in MX1 in the same moto and on the same Grand Prix overall, but doing a pretty good thing at the moment out there, 2nd and 3rd in the race, led by older brother Sebastian Pulsel, number 11, just ahead of our onboard of Christophe Pulsel. He had a problem in the first moto, Sebastian Pulsel. He was up there running with them for a while. He led the first couple of laps and was down in 3rd place before dropping the 4th for a considerable time in the race, but kept looking down at the gear lever and the gearbox area as he started to drop down the order. So might not be possible to get him on the podium overall, but he can certainly finish, I guess, 3rd place to his brother Christophe. There's the hill, that's what I'm talking about. You can't see, can you, at all? He's shaded down to one side, glaring sunshine in the opposite, on the opposite side of the hill. And the riders really do have a tough time of it. Then coming up the hills, now not so bad, but you're still shadowed from the sun on the right-hand side, obscuring the line up the middle there. Another thing you can't see is in all of these ruts that these guys are going through, there's tons of little bumps in there, and they'll fling your rear end side to side and actually get yourself suctioned in. Like in the previous moto, Hurlings is really good at. He can actually, stay through there and not let those bumps affect him, as a lot of these holes here are affecting a lot of other people. Yeah, very rutty through this part of the circuit in the first moto. That's where Rui Gonçalves went out and picked up his shoulder injury. Again, no idea what the shoulder injury is, whether it's a dislocation or a fracture or just a ligament, but shoulder injury is all we know. But Ken de Dijker on the move. Already found a way past Sean Simpson a lap ago to go 7. He's now chasing down Evgeny Bobryshev in the end of the straight there. Not going to get it through there, but look how dark it is through there. They go from glaring sunshine and then into that shadow down Power pit lane. And you really can't see too much. Oh, was that almost through the front door there for number 9, Ken de Dijker? Looked like he landed front end heavy past the landing point. I'm seeing de Dijker get a little aggressive here today. He was scrubbing down that rhythm section before pit lane pretty intense. That's first that I've seen from him. Yeah, he's been having a great season, certainly the great second half of the season, picking up podiums in Lierop, 2nd overall. He was 3rd in Russia, and also 2nd in Latvia. So it's been pretty good for him, and here he is going after Bobryshev. Ken de Dijker, 3rd and 2nd in the 2 motos a week ago in the Dutch Grand Prix, or the Grand Prix of Benelux. But I think just knowing that he's on that machine, he's riding the 450 as opposed to 350, is certainly got back onto terms with the best guys in the world in MX1. Obviously it was a good move for him at the start of the year, going from Honda the way that he did. Obviously it was no good for Steve Latani from LS Honda, but certainly Ken de Dijker could have gone one way or the other, and he's made it work for him. Yeah, I mean, you look at the bike he's on right now. I mean, look, Cairoli just, obviously won for KTM, Dungey as well, and they've really made a huge gain, not only in Europe, but worldwide as well. I mean, Roxon and Muskin, they just got their first wins back in the States. So that machine is obviously pretty proven there. Sebastian Pulsel taking a look over his shoulder, sees kid brother coming through. Christophe is going to open the door, but going to be difficult to close down. Tony Cairoli almost 3 seconds clear. Or actually, he's not that reaching far. Distance, yeah, he is. Just didn't see him as we went into that other turn. It was 2.6 last time around.
And Cairoli set the fastest lap at 53.6, but look at that, 52.9, so 3/4 of a second quicker that time around was Christophe Pourcel, but it was 2.6 seconds back to Sebastian Pourcel, so it's now 3.1 to Chris Pourcel, who goes into second position. Let's see what he can do about that gap between him and Cairoli. Gauthier Paulin is 4th place. He overtook Christophe Pourcel for 3rd place in the championship a week ago in Lero. And after the first moto, the gap between those two, 8 points. So there's a lot on the line here between the two French. The 21 there of Paulin in the blue, and the Christophe Pourcel 377, who's just found himself in second position. So if it's not decided here, it'll certainly be decided in Germany in 2 weekends' time at Teutschenthal. Different circuit altogether, isn't it, Michael Lee? Teutschenthal?
Yeah, Teutschenthal is kind of a track. Honestly, I've never really ridden a track quite the same as Teutschenthal. There's actually quite a few different soils in there, and kind of wind in and out of like a little valley there. And yeah, it's a tricky place, but once you get a good line and a good flow around there, that place is fun.
Yeah, hard, slick, stony, tacky, and a little bit sandy in places as well.
A little sandy up on the top by the pit row, and yeah, there's tons of different stuff going on there. It kind of throws you for a loop in your first year.
Commander South knocking on the rear wheel of the 21 of Gauthier Paulin. This is a battle for 4th place as they drop downhill, getting ready to drop all the way down to the bottom end of the circuit. But Tony Cairoli, be interesting to see that gap as it come down from 3.1, because a lap ago it was Christophe Pourcel who was the fastest rider on track. 2 Kawasaki's down there, in fact 3 Kawasaki's, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, and they're all French. Commander South on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MX1 machine, down in 5th position, going after Gauthier Paulin, Sebastian Pourcel and Christophe Pourcel, as he tries to maybe even think about going for 2nd position in this race, just to make himself feel a little bit better, I guess. But championship for him has gone, as we know. But that gap, 2.6 seconds between Cairoli and Christophe Pourcel. Cairoli 154.0, Christophe Pourcel 153.5, so a half a second gained back again. We're going down to Podium. Here's Amy.
Andrea, lovely to have you here. I know you're a fan of motocross, but what a day to come, hey?
Yeah, sure. KTM made a really good job this season, and Cairoli won the title, made a really amazing championship, his crew, and it's nice to be here. My house is the next city, so I'm really close. I ride it many times in this track, so I'm happy to be here. It's a wonderful day for me in the motocross, and just congratulations to Cairoli and also Erlings.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Yeah, Andrea Dovizioso, Dovi. Good to see him here, the Tech 3 Yamaha rider, Monster Energy Yamaha rider. Having a good season, him and his buddy, and his teammate, Cal Crutchlow, I should say. And always good to see him, and occasionally we get to see Marco Melandri come out and watch the motocross as well, but not sure. Maybe there's World Superbike on this weekend. I haven't checked the calendars lately, but that's probably the reason why Melandri not here. But Dovi enjoying seeing his buddy Tony Cairoli winning MX1 again, title number 6. As we say, he's closing in on Stefan Evert's 10 titles now, and finally breaks the 5 stranglehold that was Joel Smets, Roger de Costa, and obviously ties now with Joel Robert, the all-time great from Belgium, who won 6 250 World Championships. There's Guinieric, Silver Action KTM down in 8th place at the moment. How far behind De Dijker is he?
Pretty good ride there for David, isn't it?
Yeah, got a few seconds to make up there, hasn't he? Yeah, 5 seconds. Timing a little bit slow coming through, but Gregory Aranda, you say, down in 10th place on the 2B Yamaha. Coppins, the Australian champion, down in 11th place. Tenoliot is 12th. Kevin Strybos 13th. Milko Polisek has dropped to 14th ahead of Jonathan Barragan's LS Honda in 15th. Mark DeRuber, Ice One Racing Kawasaki 16th. Xavier Gould now in 17th place on the factory Kawasaki. Jamie Law, STR KTM is 18th. Brian McKenzie, his teammate, down in 19th. And then Graham Irwin down in 20th. So again, 3 Brits, an Englishman, a Scotsman, and an Irishman. That's not meant to sound like the beginning of a joke, but that's where they are in 18th and 19th and 20th. Don't worry, the folks back home will get that.
Kind of went over my head there with that one.
So Tony Cairoli, 3.1 seconds clear. Here he is, got the rainbow-coloured helmet on and the rainbow jersey.
not a fun day to be Boog, I'd say. This track to pass on is not the easiest day, but he's doing good work of it. He's getting his way up there to the top 15 almost here with just 12 minutes in.
Yeah, but then everybody said yesterday the circuit is you know, difficult to overtake yesterday, but Christophe Pourcel found that, you know, coming from 15th, 16th place to get the second and almost win the qualifying heat yesterday, there certainly is room to overtake, and still not letting Tony Cairoli get away. It was 3.1 last time. Tony Cairoli 52.2, fastest lap of the race, and keeps taking a sneaky look over his shoulder as he comes back in the opposite direction, and he sees that Christophe Pourcel not letting it lie here, is he? He's wanting to push on. 3.1 seconds, so again matching each other almost lap time for lap time there. Just Chris Pourcel 400ths quicker than Cairoli then, so only the narrowest of margins. But what a day for these guys it's been here, the crowd. It's been a great weekend for them, hasn't it, Michael Lee, Monster Energy Yamaha?
Yeah, heck of a day to come out and watch the GP. I mean, we wrapped up, you know, Mel Pocock got the European this morning, and, you know, super stoked for him, awesome. And yeah, obviously MX1 and MX2. It's just it's been a really cool day. You know, it's unfortunate that I can't be out there, but hey, Josh Coppins, stoked for him. He wrapped up the Australian Championship, I think, last weekend, didn't he?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's been an interesting couple of weeks for him. It was last weekend he wrapped up the title, but literally came over, rode the bike once, and yeah, here he is back with the old team, the old mechanic with Fabio that he was with for 8 years before he went back for 2 years. So it's almost like nothing's never changed there for him. But found it tough. We had him on the MX Live TV show after his first race, around about 2:15, and you know, he was just sort of saying that the races in Australia, 3 20-minute sprint motos as opposed to 2 40-minute motos, so that's different. Of course, it's winter in Australia at the moment, so a lot cooler than it is here. You know, high summer in Italy and close to 30 degrees and very hot, not a lot of breeze out there, and but still keeps himself in good shape. As we can see, you know, he's 35 years old now, Josh Coppins, and obviously wanting to go out on a bit of a high, you know, doing a couple more GPs. Of course, he's got New Zealand, the Motocross of Nations, 29th and 30th of September at Lommel in the sand. Talk about that a little bit now. Michael Lee, the Americans are going to be coming over. I hear they're not going to be a million miles away from that track on the Sunday of Teufelstal when we're all doing the Grand Prix there, and they'll be getting in some decent practice. They'll get some bikes set up down there, and but Lommel isn't an easy place, is it?
No, it's not an easy place. And in fact, you know, me racing in the GPs next year, I'm basically going to go live and bury myself in a hole in the sand. But yeah, you know, they're coming over, and you know, I'm good friends with Blake Baggett, and you know, he's really looking forward to it. I'm sure Barge and Dungy are as well. But definitely, it's no joke. They got their work cut out for them, and it's going to be, you know, interesting year. I'm really looking forward to see, you know, a guy like Hurlings, how he's going to match up against a Dungy and a Baggett and a Barge. I think it's just going to be a whole different aspect that the world doesn't really get to see, you know, that much. I mean, when was the last Sand GP that we've had?
Or Sand Nations. Sand Nations. Or,
okay.
Yeah. It's been a while actually, because well, certainly since 2008 when we were at Great Britain. 2007 was in the US. Glen Helen. That's not really sand, is it?
No, that's not sand at all. Honestly, I don't think even our Southwick track is considered sand.
That's more like Latvia.
Yeah, I would compare that a bit more to Latvia. But yeah, you know, Lommel and you know, all the other tracks are in Holland and Belgium. It's just, you have to see it for yourself.
Number 30, Gregory Aranda, 2B Yamaha, down in 10th place at the moment, just behind Sean Simpson. Was he just found a way past Sean Simpson? No, it's Coppins behind him. So it was sandwiched between the two Monster Energy Yamahas, both of them factory, and he's on a full privateer machine. So not doing himself plenty of favours, I should say. Number 30 there in the white, the 2B Yamaha rider, Gregory Aranda. Spent a lot of the season injured, got hurt during the Supercross season, the winter Supercross stroke arena cross season. Was okay for Paris-Bercy, but picked up a leg injury in Bulgaria, and then just sat it out. Came back at the Czech Republic, got 10th overall there, and you know, he wants to get some more top 10 finishes. It didn't work out for him in Moto number 1, but here he is, 10th at the moment in the second race, and fending off former runner-up in the World Championship in more than one occasion, and number 6, Josh Coppins, who still knows how to ride a motorcycle. Tony Cairoli, 2.2 seconds clear at the moment at the head of the field from Christophe Pourcel. Sebastian Pourcel just 3 seconds further back, so it could be the first time we see the two Pourcel brothers on the same, well, finishing same podium races in a moto rather than on the podium overall. Gauthier Paulin, how far is he? He's 3 seconds behind Sebastian Porcel in 4th. Commander Sal's Rockstar Energy Suzuki is in 5th place. That's his teammate going through. Number 4, Tanel Leok down in 12th place with number 22, Kevin Strybos, the HM Plant KTM UK machine breathing all over him, trying to find a way through. But Michael Lee, Monster Energy Yamaha, just difficult to pass here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's definitely one line. I mean, right now the track actually seems fairly more, favoring to pass and a bit wider, and a few more line selections.
Bobashev just front wheel pulling the air, and Dodajka behind him running into a spot of problems there. So Dodajka still down in 7th, still hasn't found a way past Bobashev, but lost a load of time there. But yeah, Michael Lee, you were saying the track probably the best it's been all weekend in terms of how open it is now. But it's still gnarly rough, isn't it? Yeah,
I mean, let's take a look here at the... Oh, they panned away from it. But yeah, it's... to be honest, it definitely is the best it's been all weekend right here. I mean, yesterday there was hardly any lines going down there, and this section here is tricky as well. I actually had a big crash right here in 2010 and ended right into there. That wasn't any fun, but this track will bite you if you're not careful there.
Cairoli takes a cautious look over his shoulder, but just managing to keep that gap between him and Christophe Porcel steady. Just over 2 seconds a moment ago. It's now 3 seconds, so doing a good job, Tony Cairoli, and he's on course for picking up what would be the perfect way to win his 6th world title by winning both races here at the European round in Italy at Faenza. Davide Guarnieri comes over the line now in 8th place on the Silver Action KTM. Again, having a decent showing here in the second moto, was 12th in moto number 1. Currently 8th in the second race, but he's always been around 12th or 13th throughout the whole season. Here's Guarnieri. Sean Simpson on the Monster Energy Yamaha down in 9th, Miranda 10th, Coppins 11th, Tanel Leok just there on the yellow, Suzuki down in 12th place. Then we've got Strybos just behind him, the 22 in 13th, Barrett 14th, Potters at 15th, Boog 16th. Deruba, Jamie Law, Brian McKenzie and Graham Irwin down in 20th position. Of course, no Max Nagy crashed down the start straight in moto number 1. He's got a massive dead leg, and no Ruben Salves after getting cross-rotated and landing heavily on the shoulder. I'm not sure whether it's the left one or the right one, but again, no diagnosis as yet as to what the damage is on that shoulder. But Ruben Salves could have done without that, really. He was having a decent run-in for the second half of the season, 9th in the championship before he came here, and was just 23 points behind Tanel Leok. So Tanel Leok will continue to push on as he is doing now, 8th in the championship, 10 points behind Xavier Bourg, so he might even go one more position with Xavier Bourg down in 15th place at the moment. So we'll wait and see. But Gregory Aranda, though, doing good to hold up the guys behind him, Coppins, Leok, Strybos.
I was teammates with Greg Aranda back in 2010, and I'll tell you what, that guy has an unbelievable amount of talent. Just pieces of the puzzle haven't really, fell into place yet. And, I'm hoping that guy can get that going soon, because I'll tell you what, that guy can ride a dirt bike.
Yeah, well, he was the only guy, the 3-4 tabletops down the bottom end just after here now. He was the only one to double the last 2 yesterday in practice. Only did it 1 time.
I didn't even know he did that. That's insane.
He went from, well, basically the second one, it's not a tabletop. If it was flat, completely flat on top, I think he would have actually stayed there and carried on doing it. But because it starts to rise up a little bit, he landed just past the dip and on the uprise, and he just cased it pretty heavily and thought, yeah, okay, I'm not going to get all the way over it. But
it couldn't be a comfortable landing by all means.
But parents produce wine, don't they, just outside of Nîmes in the south of France. I was told this weekend one of their red wines was a gold medal winner this year, or 2011. So obviously got a taste for the red as well. They do a white and a rosé.
Wasn't aware.
Right, Tanel Leok going around the outside of Josh Coppins, or that's what he tries to do here. Number 6, starting to feel the heat now. Coppins.
Not an easy GP to come back for Coppins. This place is up, down, hot, rough, sticky. You're definitely going to be struggling with that at the end of the day.
Yeah, but look at this train of riders here. Look, we've got Gregory Aranda still there in 10th, number 30, 2B Yamaha.
Might have just gotten by Aranda.
Coppins, yeah, just goes down the inside. Tanel Leok looking to go through as well. So just starting to get interesting down here, this battle for what, 9th, 10th place. Now Leok just getting squeezed at the top of the hill there by the number 30, the 2B Yamaha Racing. Gregory around it, but then leaves himself wide open and allows Tano Leok, number 4, on that Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MX1 machine to carve his way up the inside, and Kevin Strybos goes through as well, number 22 on the HM Plant KTM. Aranda takes a long look over his shoulder, sees Jonathan Barragan there as well, so just a matter of time then, maybe even seconds, before Barragan goes through from 14th, and that's where the number 30 of Gregory Aranda might just find himself the next time he comes over the line. He was 10th at the start of this lap, lap 11 or lap 10, just coming around to complete their 11th lap. Josh Coppins, Michael Lee, as you say, tough place for him to come back to, but showing that he still has it, and maybe if he'd come back a couple of GPs earlier, as Strybos looks to go up the inside of Leok, might have been a little bit more dialed in for this race. Yeah, I'm telling you, I got a lot of respect for Coppins. He's a really good rider, and to be able to adapt from coming overseas and, you know, all different circumstances, bike, I mean, literally there's not one thing that hasn't changed for him. You know, that's not the easiest thing to do. I've come over from the States and done that, and it's really, really difficult. I mean, jet lag, you name it, the guy's going through it, and he's just putting in lap after lap. Tano Leok getting aggressive. You saw the Suzuki mechanics just a moment ago, Martha Powell and the mechanic of Clement de Sal, just shaking a hand. A mistake there from Coppins allows Tano Leok to go through up the inside, but Coppins, he'll just be kicking himself for that. Back end just came around on him, and horrible part of the track, because you need to be getting on the gas and getting the drive there as well, because you're straight away on the incline. Just lost drive at the vital moment, and then just gets outbraked there at the bottom of the hill by the 22, but he won't mind that. He's already done a great job for the Monster Energy Yamaha team. Obviously 2 riders down. They've got Sean Simpson in for him, and obviously now Josh Coppins, but Simpson in 9th place still. Gauthier Paulin, he's in 3rd, so he's found a way past Sebastian Pourcel then. While we were looking at that battle just a moment ago. So it's Cairoli, Christophe Pourcel, 2.3 seconds back still. Then Gauthier Paulin here in 3rd place. Then Clement de Sal in 4th. Sebastian Pourcel has dropped to 5th. And then Bobashev in 6th. I know he didn't make a good start, Gauthier Paulin, in the first moto, Michael Lee, but I'd expected a little bit more from him probably in that first race. Only finished down in 7th position, but making up for it here in the second moto. You think the pressure of being 3rd in the championship might just be getting to him, or do you think it's just been one of those situations where he didn't make a good start? It's really hard to say. I mean, a lot of things can throw your flow off here, and you know, he definitely doesn't have easy company. I've been sitting here watching Clement de Sal's lap after lap, and he's one of those guys that you really don't want right behind you. He'll stay right on you, and he won't really let you run away with it much, it seems. But yeah, I'm not really sure. Paulin, yeah, I guess, you know, I would expect him to be a little bit quicker, but you know, he's sitting in 3rd. That's pretty solid, isn't it? For the second moto, yeah, of course, he's won a Grand Prix in Bulgaria this year, and you know, but I think the aim for him probably was just to be top 3 in the championship, maybe top 5. Well, he's obviously surpassed that if it was top 5, and he's right on target if it's top 3. But Christophe Pourcel, as we've seen from his performances today, he's not going to make it easy for Gauthier Paulin, is he? Because that championship gap now was 16. It's going to be down to 6 points after the second moto. So pressure's going to be on in Teushenthal between Gauthier Paulin and Christophe Pourcel. And let's not forget, Pourcel, a former world champion, East and West Coast Supercross champion in the lights, and but never won an outdoor title, did he, in his time in the States? He got close. I think it was 2 or 3 rounds away. He had a huge lead. I mean, even at Paulin, I think, what was it, 2010, he dislocated his shoulder, and then a puncture at the round before, the round the year before. Yeah, and in Southwick, I think he blew a bike up and lost the championship. So he was a little bit unlucky. I think he was deserving, but yeah, I guess he doesn't have that #1 plate there, does he? No, exactly. But no, you know. Look at the shadows. Yeah, and the light, the sunlight, and obviously that's exactly what the rider's going to see. And I mean, if you were a rider, I mean, I just know that if I was riding this now, I'd probably be wearing a clear lens, because I thought it'd help sort of differentiate the shadows and everything else and the bumps on the track, but a lot of guys still tend to go with a smoke lens or something like that. But what would you be riding now in this race?
I would absolutely be riding a clear lens. I don't know if anyone caught that, you know, as he was dropping down that hill, he was rhythming down the hill and jumping over those big holes. But yeah, absolutely a clear lens.
Yeah, because you can't see them. Adam Wheeler, our journalist from ontrackoffroad.com, stood there yesterday and said, right, look at that now and then take your shades off and you'll see what I mean. He exactly did that. We're going down to pit lane.
Francois, nice to see Gautier's putting stuff. It's like that top three. What happened in the first race?
Yeah, for sure. First race was difficult for him. He had the problem to find the good rate. So he took in second moto a good start and was in a good wagon to follow the first rider. So it's good.
Thank you, Francois.
Very brief there from Francois Lemorier, but yeah, Gautier and Paulin just a little bit more solid in this second moto, definitely, which is what we all come to expect. But look at this.
Oh, battle shaping up.
Nothing in it between first and second. This, of course, for the overall Grand Prix as well. So Tony Cairoli then comes over the line, 1.7 seconds clear of the 377, who we were just talking about a moment ago, Michael Lee. Probably one of the smoothest guys on a motorcycle of the current crop of riders anywhere in the world. But you just never know which one you're going to get, do you? Which Christophe Pourcel you're going to get. The one that showed up in Lierop a couple of weeks ago, or the one here where he just loves the technical aspect, ruts and holes and all the gnarly stuff that other riders don't like, he thrives on.
It's annoying, to be honest. It's absolutely annoying. And lately, he's been putting on those last-minute charges. I don't know how many people have been following the Nationals, but a lot of people are comparing him and Baggett to be the same. They just get these, you know, like the last, 10 minutes, like, we're 5 minutes to the end now for the 2 laps, but they get these last-minute urges. But Cairoli seems to have answered to that and pulled away a little bit.
Just in the last few corners, yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, look at that down the hill. We can't see anything.
I promise you, those bumps are more than knee-high.
They are. I was surprised, actually, how quickly it dug out down there yesterday in terms of the qualifying races. Adam Wheeler was exactly the same. He was just like, wow, we were just looking at the techniques. Jeffrey Hurlings, he'd just over-jumped slightly the slight downside, and then when he landed, he'd just pick his front wheel up and skip a hole and let the back wheel absorb here, and then that would set him on his way, and he was doing it so nice, and it just looked like the bike was handling like a dream down there. And then you see guys who don't have the factory suspension that he was running, and it was just a different story. Hitting the front end first, the back end almost coming up over the top, and a scary place to be at the wrong time.
Landing in one of those holes, and trust me, it's easy to do. It's really blind as you come over that drop, and there's kind of like a double lip on it, so there's a big kicker. Whether you get the kicker or you jump over it, you never really know. But if you land in one of those holes, it's a bumpy ride down to that bottom trying to get your bike to stop.
15 laps complete. Tony Cairoli over the line, a 1:55.0 and a 1:55.9. So still 1.7 the gap between Tony Cairoli and Christophe Pourcel as this race nears its conclusion. We've got 4.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Sean Simpson coming under pressure still from Tanel Leoc in that battle for 9th place. Got a back marker there, just getting into all kinds of bother through that tight turn, trying to stay out of their way. But Sean Simpson doing his best to stay ahead of the hard-charging Estonian Tanel Leoc there, number 4, the Rockstar Energy Suzuki rider, who another rider actually surprised many with his 3rd overall last week in Lierop in the sand, but then he lives out there in Belgium, Holland, has done since he moved to Europe, but mainland Europe I should say, but he
Leoc, you get him in a surface he likes. He's definitely a guy to watch out for.
Just needs to make better starts, doesn't he? He's 10th in the moto at the moment, behind the 24 there at the bottom in that corner. Sean Simpson on the black Yamaha. The Scot. But again, find the rear wheel. The next problem is trying to find a way past, but probably the best it has been in terms of overtaking and trying to, create those lines where they probably weren't, and where they haven't been throughout the weekend. Michael Lee.
Yeah, like coming through here, there'll be, well, here for example as well, there's 4 or 5 lines where, yesterday there was only, 1 or 2. Here, this corner is really, really tight before you head back up this uphill, so there's always one line there, and this big pothole, and, there's a bunch of potholes before that roller as well, so that whole section there is really one line.
And that was fast in free practice on Saturday, wasn't it, as Leoc getting ready to go around the outside of Sean Simpson. Simpson will have the better line here, but Leoc tried to run it round him. and then has to go to the inside. But Sean Simpson doing a great job at the moment, fending off the challenge. But is it a matter of time before Tano Leop goes from 10th place to 9th place? Sean Simpson going to do his best to try and hang on there, that's for sure. Tano Leop almost up the inside and then switched it to the outside, but not making it easy for him. He's definitely got the radar on under that helmet, hasn't he, Sean Simpson?
Yeah, he's making a big, or Leop's making a big push here to Simpson, but Simpson's doing a great job at holding him off. And it's late in the moto. These boys are definitely tired.
Sun's getting lower, track's getting more gnarly. Feeling the heat, aren't they?
Yeah, those 450s on the track like this, you know, up and down all those tight hills and stuff. That, yeah, not an easy task, but that's for sure.
Well, the gap came down 1.5 seconds, so Cairoli 0.2 slower than Christophe Pourcel last time around, but 1.5 seconds, is that still enough of an advantage at the head of the field? It's barely more than a couple of bike lengths, isn't it, as they go through on the line? But Cairoli, Pourcel, Gauthier Paulin, Clement Desailles, Sebastian Pourcel, they're your top 5. Then we've got Gedi Bobashev still there in 6th, and he's 13, 14 seconds clear of Kenda Dijkgraaf. He made that mistake and obviously thrown in the towel now in 7th place. Guarnieri down in 8th on the Silver Action KTM, having a good ride. Simpson 9th, that's who we were looking at a moment ago as we go back on board with Christophe Pourcel. That's Tony Cairoli just ahead of him. That's not 1.5 seconds, or is it? Maybe still.
Yeah, I'd say that's about 1.5, but that's not a very big gap by all means.
Always looks further on the onboard camera as well to what we're seeing in real time here. When you see that, and then when you see the next shot where they come out of the corner, for instance, at the end of the straight. But the shoot up down there, and then look at that, brilliant sunshine into the dark. You can't see that bank there where it is until you hit it.
Yeah, those ruts, they're all deep in the middle there, and
1.5 seconds becomes 1.9. So a bad last turn then for Christophe Pourcel.
Those boots Cairoli's wearing, those yellow things, I don't know if it's a bit of a Rossi thing or
I think it's a Rossi thing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You gotta love those things.
A bit like Jackie Vimond when he was 250 world champion, or Brock Glover when he did the Miller Masters back in the day, if you remember that.
Yeah, Jackie Vimond, the Pink Panther. Actually, back in Anaheim 2 this year, I wore the original old JT stuff that he wore, and it was kind of fun.
Yeah, the pink stuff. Right. Well, here's Christophe Pourcel, blinded by the sunlight as he heads uphill. Can't see the holes until he hits them up there. Flicks it right again. Can't see the holes on the face of the jump here. And again, just trying to pick his way through, just going on instinct now and memory as they work their way to the top end of the circle before dropping down the gnarliest hill of all. And the onboard image there from Christophe Pourcel, not really showing the movement that the bike is making as it's working overtime to try and keep itself in a straight line down that hill. Michael Lieb getting pretty close here, but do you think Tony Cairoli now, 2.5 laps to go, has it all under control and going to walk away with the second moto win and the overall Grand Prix?
I hope he does. You know, I think if Pourcel makes a good push, I think Cairoli's been able to answer just about every push that Pourcel's made towards him in this race here as we're getting close to the final chapter. But yeah, I do think Cairoli is going to walk away with this, but we'll have to wait and see. You never know.
Of course, Cairoli won the French Grand Prix at Saint-Jean-d'Angely. Christophe Pourcel won the Italian Grand Prix Fermo round 3. So Cairoli made a bit of a comment about that in Saint-Jean. Said, yeah, you know, we had a chat. You know, we're friends, and you know, we just said, okay, you win mine, I'll win yours, type deal. But Tony Cairoli will want to win this one, that's for sure, having just been crowned world champion in race number 1. But Tano Leop not giving up their battle for 9th place, still going after Sean Simpson on the Monster Energy Yamaha there on the black machine, number 24, top of the hill now on the right side of your shot. Just there in the background, Strybos, Kevin Strybos on the HM Plant KTM, not quite close enough to do anything about these two guys, I don't think, in the closing stages of the last 2 laps of this moto. But Josh Coppins had a great ride, but Leop goes through. Simpson, no. Ooh, no, he's not.
Edged him out.
Too late. So good move there from Tano Leop. And he tried that a couple of laps before, didn't he?
Yeah, it looks like Simpson's getting a little bit tired looking back. Never a good sign, but overall great ride for Sean.
Ooh, the back end was just a little bit misaligned there as he reached the top of the hill there, Tano Leop.
Like I was saying, in these ruts, you don't really see the bumps, and your back end will start bouncing wall to wall. I mean, it's, you know, it could be 6-7 inches, but that's a lot, and especially as you're getting close to a drop-off like that. Yeah. That's never a good sign to have your rear end dancing on you.
I want to see a slow motion of just after this round, the next right-hander, when they take off the final drop-off. just the back end of Tenol Leoc just working a little bit overtime at that point of takeoff, and yeah, it could have been ugly.
Purcell's pretty close here still to Cairoli. He's not getting away from him.
1.9 as it came through, 18 laps complete. That's Brian McKenzie, STR KTM, doing a good job for Steve Turner's racing team. Complete privateer team. Jamie Law riding the 350, 112, down in 18th place. And Brian McKenzie on the 450, down in 19th place. But here's Cairoli, 222, and look at that, nothing in it. So Cairoli now going to start feeling it from Christophe Pourcel. One thing's for sure, he's not going to give up without a fight. Tony Cairoli, and nor too will Christophe Pourcel. But look at that back mark, McKenzie. But I think he just got out of trouble. No, he didn't.
Yeah, I think that hurt Purcell a little bit. I'm also seeing Cairoli make a little bit of a mistake.
So I thought McKenzie actually did enough there, just went inside and held the line, but you know, you would have thought someone with Mackenzie's experience would have just done enough there, looked over his shoulder, saw Cairoli, and then looked again to see where the next guy was, because that's generally the rule of thumb, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, top guy coming through. Is there anybody else? Let's take a quick look. And Christophe Pourcel, yeah, just a little bit hurt there. He's going to have a big push on the final lap. He did close it in, close it down on the previous lap, but Tony Cairoli looks to have responded here.
I just think that Cairoli's got a little bit of the upper hand. He's responded to everything that Purcell's thrown at him.
Flags flying.
Wow,
nice
that's
line.
cool how he jumped up on that wall. I've seen a couple guys do that. That's a really steep wall. That thing is almost vertical up and down.
And he was doing that in the first moto as well, but fans making their way down towards the finish line area off the bank. They want to see Cairoli win the moto here. Still got one or two difficult areas of the racetrack to deal with, though. As we can see where they are on the racetrack. There's Daruva just going out of shot, 212 on the Ice One Racing Kawasaki, 112. Jamie Law as well, the STR KTM.
What a great day for a GP.
And 18th, yeah, fine, fantastic day. Yeah. But Jamie Law just trying to get out of the ruts here. Cairoli alongside him takes a look now. Says, okay, well, champ, you can have it. I'll deal with you next week in Germany. So 2 + 2 + 2. Tony Cairoli, 222 equals 6. That's cool.
That is pretty clever, isn't it? This has got to be a great feeling for Cairoli. Finally wrapped it up at the home GP, and he's going to take a 1-1 with it.
Yeah.
Awesome day.
And the crowd just going completely crazy as well, as you'd expect. And going to be a nice celebration this weekend, tonight. But Pourcel hasn't given it up, and he hooked to neutral there as well. And Marc Daruva, he comes over the line, just gets out of the way, but Tony Cairoli won't be happy with that. But anyway, he wins it. 2 wins out of 2, wins the overall Grand Prix in Faenza, the European round of the championship. But that could have almost been costly had it been another lap there, because Marc Daruva just got in the way down the final straight. Probably thought he was in that battle with Jamie Law, but in the end, it was just enough. Tony Cairoli managed to hang on. Here he is.
Congratulations.
And he's spent.
Not only have you won your home GP, you've taken the MX1 title for the 6th time. How are you feeling?
I'm good. Thanks to everybody. I have no words.
I have no words. He's tired. He's done. He needs to get back, get a drink. Anybody, just hold my bike. Anybody. Let me get my helmet off. Let me get to the winner's circle. And he's hot, dude. He is hot.
I'm telling you, it is warm out here. This track is not easy. And like I said, those 450s here is not an easy task. But
great race. And great way to finish it off as well, you know, for Cairoli and Pourcel, pushing all the way to the checkered flag. Yeah, Cairoli. There's DeSalle, look, in all of that. DeSalle finished 4th in the race. That's going to be good enough for 3rd overall. So it's going to be Tony Cairoli.
He is completely spent, isn't he?
Yeah, Christophe Pourcel, Clement DeSalle, that's the overall. There's Youth Stream President Giuseppe Luongo. Guess he's going to be there to hand him the gold plate. Obviously now being a 6-time world champion, but
it's becoming a habit.
There it is. It's a habit he doesn't want to get out of either, is it?
Don't blame him.
What's on the cards for you, Michael Lieb, in terms of the rest of the season and going forward?
The rest of the season, we're going to make a decision this week. Like I said, you know, I had a pretty nasty virus, and yeah, just you know, one more round at the GPs, and I'm obviously not in great shape right now, and just it's not panning out how I expected. So either I'm going to be headed home or we're going to be heading to Germany to, you know, do the best that we can. But we'll see. But either way, I'll be back in the GPs next year, and I'm going to push for as good as a year as I can have.
And then we'll just watch this space then, hey?
Yeah.
Suddenly it's gone all quiet out there. There's been music and noise and craziness all weekend long.
These Italian fans put out a great atmosphere. It's definitely a cool GP to come out to. Also in Fermo, the fans there, the atmosphere was really good.
How was that good for you in terms of getting on the podium, your first ever in MX2?
Yeah, you know, that was kind of a surreal day. You know, it was kind of the first, you know, breakout moment that I really had.
Well, Tony Cairoli is the 2012 FIM MX1 Motocross World Champion. 10 overall Grand Prix victories now, 18 race wins. And picking up double moto victories in the last 5 Grand Prix now. The last 10 motos, he's won every single one of them. There's also a double moto winner in Belgium, Saint-Jean-d'Angely in France, and the opening round in Valkenswaard. Total dominance from the Italian, and winning his first world title on home soil as well. Hasn't done that before, and I think it's been an extra special weekend for him. Would have taken a lot out of him as well. Tony Cairoli then confirmed as the winner in Moto number 2, Christophe Pourcel second, and what was a great finish between the two giants of MX1. Gauthier Paulin third with Clement de Salle fourth, Sebastian Pourcel, Evgeny Bobryshev, Ken Dedajka, Guarneri and Tanel Leoc. Sean Simpson was 10 from Kevin Strybos, Xavier Bourg, Josh Coppins, Jonathan Barragan, with Milko Podolzek, Mark Deruva, Jamie Law, Gregory Aranda, Brian McKenzie and Graham Irwin rounding out the top 20. So regular points for Graham Irwin, riding the J.K. Gebben Yamaha. Points in Lira, points here in Italy this weekend. And that's a pretty good crowd turned out to see Cairoli this weekend, isn't it? Tony Cairoli wins the overall then. 50 points for him, the perfect way to be crowned world champion for the 6th time. Christophe Pourcel, he'll be 2nd overall, and Clement de Salle 3rd with a 3rd and a 4th. And Gauthier Paulin, so the gap in the championship between them starting to creep down a little bit as well. Ken Dedajka was 5th overall ahead of Evgeny Bobryshev, Sebastian Pourcel, Tanel Leoc, Sean Simpson 9th overall with Davide Guarneri in 10th. Josh Coppins on his return finishes 12th with well, a 9th and a 13th, so good day for him on the Monster Energy Yamaha. In terms of the championship, Tony Cairoli, obviously world champion. De Salle, 2nd, but not quite, is it? Yeah, 52 points, so he's got that nailed on, I think. And then Paulin and Pourcel, then, they're going to be going for 3rd and 4th place in the championship. Nothing in it, just 6 points between Gauthier Paulin now in 3rd, Christophe Pourcel 4th. Ken Dedajka would have just lost a little bit of ground. He was closing in. He was only 6 down on Christophe Pourcel after Lirop, but I'm not going to say it's over for him, but Christophe Pourcel now got his eye on 3rd place.
That's a cool shot of Cairoli. He's looking right into that camera, isn't he?
Clear lens.
Yeah.
Trying to pick the line through the sunlight, looking ahead. I like shots like that, you know, where you can see the eyes and the concentration, the focus, you know, especially when you stood up coming into a corner and you're looking across, you know, to see where you want to go there. But yeah, good day for Cairoli, the new world champion.
I want one of them helmets.
Some people can't get a space at the podium. For those who are there, I remember that. Saw Tony Cairoli riding through the Parc Ferme area this morning on his way to warm-up, and there was a kid walking alongside his dad, and he hoisted him up on the shoulders just to see him, you know, ride by. That's how important it is to a father to a son who was like 6 years old, 5 years old, maybe younger. But KTM, I think, well, they're definitely on the way if they haven't won the World Manufacturers Championship. Third overall, though, going down onto the podium, Clement de Sal, the Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MX1 rider. Been loud music here, loud fans. And Clement de Sal settles for second place in a championship, but third overall here this weekend. Christophe Pourcel woke up on the right side of the bed this morning, fractured shoulder or no fractured shoulder. He turned up and done good, but was just about 2 bike lengths short of taking the overall Grand Prix victory from Tony Cairoli, but he wouldn't have dared, would he? But listen to the noise, the reception for Tony Cairoli, the FIM MX1 World Champion for 2012. Congratulates his good buddy and former sparring partner from 2006. That's when those two went for world titles last. Of course, it was Christophe Pourcel, the winner that day. Claudio De Carli, also not a 6-time world champion, because he's only got 6 with Tony Cairoli, but also with Kiko Chiodi. He has a couple, so he's doing all right. Third overall, though, Fabio Passeri, the vice president of the Italian Federation, hands Clement de Sal his third place trophy, the Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MX1 rider. Christophe Pourcel looks pretty happy with himself. He'll be looking forward to Teufelstal now as well.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good track for him. Gives me goosebumps sitting here watching this kind of stuff, wrapping up the championship and all that. Just makes that much easier to work through a hard winter, doesn't it?
Yeah. Danilo Boccadolci, Youth Stream Events, handing the second place trophy to Christophe Pourcel. But listen to the reception for here for the new world champion, Tony Cairoli. And it's his old man, look, his dad gives him the World Championship, well, the Grand Prix trophy. Benedetto Cairoli, great. Great. I've never seen that done before, actually.
Really?
Only in Italy.
First?
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen that, you know, father to son kind of handing him the trophy. It may have happened, but I just don't recall seeing it. But, yeah, nice moment. And Rosella Signori from City Boots. Of course, long-term sponsors of Tony Cairoli and the FIM Motocross World Championship as well. Good to see her here. Manufacturer's trophy, of course, to Claudio De Carli. But it was a red plate, it's now a gold plate. Dr. Wolfgang Strub, the FIM CMS director, hands it to Tony Cairoli, holds it high, the crowd go crazy yet again. They only came here to get one result, and they got just that. 6 titles, double moto victory. Doesn't get any better this weekend for the Italians and Tony Cairoli. National anthem for the Italians. Get ready for their national anthem. Tony Cairoli, the winner here this weekend. That's the 9th time we've heard it in MX1 this year. And a bit of crowd participation there as well, as you'd expect. Austria, though, winning manufacturers this weekend. Here's the national anthem for Austria. Tony Cairoli wins the European Grand Prix here at Faenza, round 15 of 16 in the 2012 FIM MX1 Motocross World Championship. He does it in perfect style as well, winning both motos from Christophe Pourcel. Clement de Sal was third overall this weekend on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MX1, but for Tony Cairoli, it was the perfect season, winning his 6th world title, his first on home soil in Italy. And the maestro orchestrating the crowd here, well, he will do in a moment, but our man down there will grab a few words in Italian. Not sure how your Italian is, Michael Lee, but I'm sure it's just going to be a case of great weekend, you know, to win it on home soil. But it's been a fantastic weekend for him, hasn't it? You know, doesn't get any better than that. Yeah, I've actually learned to speak a bit of Italian. I did live here last year, but yeah, what a great weekend. He does look pretty tired, doesn't he? Yeah, he's put in a lot of effort, and what people don't realise is since he came back from Lirop a week ago, he's come back here and been a lot of media, a lot of press attention, a lot of stuff to fulfill and all the rest of it. And of course you get the good crowd as well, but you know, our youth stream president there, Mr. Giuseppe Longo, obviously responsible for the FIM Motocross World Championship. Of course, Dr. Wolfgang Schrub here, the FIM, the director. Great occasion. And, well, I'm wondering how many of these people will be staying behind or how many will be camped out until tomorrow morning and calling in sick and not going to work in the morning. Here's Jeffrey Hurlings, the MX2 World Champion, Tony Cairoli, getting ready to throw some goggles out to the crowd. There we go. There's a pair. Somebody will be hanging around. They'll make their way into the paddock a little bit later on and get to sign them. Be a dogfight for those things, won't it? Oh yeah, the strap's already gone ping. The lens is already gone. But there are your two world champions this weekend. Jeffrey Hurlings on the left, FIM MX2, and Tony Cairoli, FIM MX1. Giuseppe Longo on the left, Dr. Wolfgang Schrub on the right. Of course, Mel Pocock was European 250 champion as well this weekend. He won that in the first moto yesterday. The Monster Energy Yamaha rider. Chiara Fontanesi was crowned world champion a couple of weeks ago at Matchley Basin in Great Britain. I saw she went 1-1 at the Women's National in the US yesterday. Yeah, very impressive. Was really, you know, happy to see that. I think that says a lot. Well, there's Mel there, isn't he? Well, there's Mel and Tim Geiser as well, the 125 European champion. So all the champions on the podium. Eddie Hurd, the UEM representative, or the president of the UEM Motocross Commission, at least on the left, from the UK, from England. That's it. White caps for the podiums and interviews, guys. Any other colour for any other leisure time. That's the rule with those guys, apparently. Interviews, white caps. Well, what a great weekend here in Faenza, capped off in the perfect style with Tony Cairoli wrapping up world title number 6. Michael Lee, it's been a great weekend, hasn't it? What are your thoughts on everything that happened this weekend, ignoring your own high dramas, of course? Yeah, you know, it was, you know, how about the fact that it was a GP without rain? I don't think that we've had many of them, but yeah, great weekend. Hurlings wrapped it up. Cairoli wrapped it up. Awesome. Okay, well, look, that's all we got time here in Faenza, the penultimate round. We've seen Jeffrey Hurlings and Tony Cairoli crowned world champions. Mel Pocock crowned European champion as well. My name's Paul Manning. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks when we go to the Grand Prix of Germany at Teussenthal. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.